What's going on, y'all? It is Friday, January the 21st. We ain't doing no mowing today. Instead, I think I'm gonna go ride to my shop and work on my standard mower. I need to make, hold on, let me get you set up here. So I need to make a chute blocker for my standard. For those of you
good news. Yeah, Viagra is available.
Okay. Those of you who know, I've had a chute blocker on that mower before, but whenever I got the new 52-inch ride-on mower, I took it off of it and put it on the new one. So we're gonna go and head over here to the shop. I've got a little piece of metal that I think I can use as a chute blocker. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get that done today. Y'all stay tuned. Alright, y'all, so we're going to get started. What we're going to be doing is making a chute blocker for this machine right here. And it's going to look just like the rider over here, which is the mulch kit block off plate. And this was, like I said, on this mower. And when we just bought this mower a couple months ago, and I wanted to try it out with the mulch kit, so I took it off of this mower and put it on that one because the decks are exactly the same. So I said, instead of buying another mulch kit or another block off plate, I'm going to go ahead and just try to replicate the design on this one. So I got this piece of metal right here, and it's already cut to length, and we got these notches cut out basically. So actually this is how it is, like this. So this is the top, and I'm going to bend this and bend this, and it's also going to bend here, and it's going to have the same shape as that one there. I'll give you a close-up, show you what I'm talking about. So here's what it looks like up close. As you can see, it's got a bend up here. It's kind of dirty, it's hard to see, sorry about that. Been working. So it's got a slit right here, and it kind of tapers in right here, and it just bends over, and it also has a bend right here. So this is the piece of metal. Let's get started. Alright, I just wanted to show you the measurements on the piece of metal in case you wanted to make one if you had the same mower. The whole piece of metal is 19.5 inches long, looking at 6 1/4 tall, and then right here the bend is at 5.5 inches, and the part that folds over on the top is roughly 1.25 inches. So I don't know what thickness this is, but it's pretty heavy duty. It's at least 1/16 of an inch, probably somewhere between 1/16 and 1/8. From what I can guess. I don't know what gauge that is, but it's pretty heavy duty. It's solid. So this is the back side of it, and it needs to bend this way. So I think I'm going to go ahead and grind the back side of it. That way I don't see the cut that I make. And I don't have a brake or anything in order to bend this that's strong enough, so that's why I'm going to score it with an angle grinder. I'm going to just fasten this down to the sawhorse so it doesn't flop around or move on me. Alright, then I'm going to draw a line from here to here so I'll see where I need to grind. Alright, so I'm using safety glasses plus a shield and ear protection. That's all I'm using is a cutoff wheel on the grinder. It's kind of tricky because you got to have a steady hand. You don't want to push too hard. You just kind of scribe it. You just follow the line the best you can. Make a few passes. Once you make about 3 passes, you should be able to. It should get easier. Alright, so I got this monkey wrench, pipe wrench, whatever you want to call it. Let's see if I can bend it with that. Yeah, it's pretty tough. Move this. You don't want to grind too much and you don't want to force too much at one time because it may just break in half and then you end up welding it. So just take your time with it. I'll try to turn this way. That should be pretty close to a 90-degree angle. I'll bend it more if I need to. Get close. I'm turn around, pull this way. It's just deep. Slip on with it. It was just tight. Alright. So that's what we're working with so far. It's not completely straight. I'm going to see if I can flatten it out with a hammer. Alright guys, let's see how it fits. So I'm going to put this point right where it starts to break right here. It's got about ½ inch from right here, which is how this one fits. But this part right here, as you can see, it needs to go a little bit further, probably at least a ¼ inch more, because it's all the way against it. But I think it needs to bend more this way, and I think this part right here needs to go down a little bit, and then we'll be good. Alright, see if I can come some more with it. That's a good bit more. Hopefully that's enough. And then I'm going to try to bend this some more. And just a bit. Line that little corner up right there. It looks like it fits. Looks like it fits pretty dang good. The only place is right there. There's a little bit of a gap, and what I might do is just put a little bit of weld up in there from the inside, just so that kind of seals up some dust and stuff accumulating in it. But other than that, it fits really tight all the way around. A good seal. As you can see over here where it bolts on the top, it's got 1, 2, and then the third one on the side bolts up on there. I'm going to go ahead and locate where that needs to go and drill my holes. So from this seam right here where the break is, it's 2.5 inches over, looks like. And the same way this way, 2.5. One hole there, and the bolts are like, looks like 3/8 bolts, so I'm going to do a 3/8 hole there. Same way here, looks like 3 inches. Tell you what, I'll just line it up like this, put a mark. Same thing right here, and I'm just going to put it at, let's see, 1/2 inch from the back edge. So, right there, right there. Like so. So I'm going to drill these 3 holes, and to get some pilot holes for my drill bit, I'm going to be using this spring-loaded punch. I think that's what it's called. I got this for Christmas. You can pick this up at Harbor Freight. You basically just put it on your mark and push on it. Put it right on your mark and just push down. I'm going to go ahead and do that on all 3 and drill them out. Alright, do this one. Looks like my mark's a little off, so I'm going to do another one. Alright, now I'm going to move to my 3/8 bit. Here. Alright, we're good to go. We got our 3 holes drilled. The next thing to do is to put this bracket on that mower. This is the original one that came off the standard. Whenever, like I said earlier, we swapped things around, so I just used the bracket that the rubber flap was on. So I need to take that rubber flap off and put the original bracket back on, and then bolt the piece I just made onto here. So what you're going to have to do is take some pliers and hold it down here and pull the nuts off. Probably pull this nut off, that way you can just slide it on out. I'll bring you in closer. So the way this works right here, this is just a black bungee cord, and I took the hooks out of it, and I put, this is from a ratchet strap. It's a little beefier, heavier duty than the ones that come with these little rubber things, and it's easier to grab. And basically, as you can see, this is a 2-piece right here that's bolted together, and it creates this little gap, and it works perfect. You take your bungee, and it's the perfect catch for it, and it seems to stay just fine. And let me get a tape measure and I'll measure how long that bungee is for you. So this bungee is probably about 30 inches long. It may be stretched out a little bit right now, so maybe a 24 to 30 inch, if I had to say. And what I did also here is, when I took the small hook out, I took a drill bit and made it a little bit bigger so it'll accept this one. And what I do is I hook this to this part right here. That way when it's open, it's like that, and when it's down, I'll hook it right here. And I'll show you when we're done. So another thing we're going to have to do is take this bolt out. This bolt is here for when you have the factory deflector. You can lift it up and you push it back, and this bolt holds it up. That way you can transport it onto the trailer if you need to. But that's going to have to get moved out of the way. Alright, so one of the things you're going to have to do is get you a little plastic spacer or washer that's about this thick. I forgot what I made this out of, but it's just basically a little spacer. That way this doesn't move forward and back. So this bracket right here is going to go on the outside of this, and it's going to go in the hole that's closer to the motor or engine. We also have a washer on here. As you can see, it's been wearing a little bit, so eventually I'm going to have to probably replace this. But this thing's been on here for a long time. So I'm going to put my spacer. Nope, I'm going to put it through first. Then I'm going to put my spacer like that. I'm going to put my washer and then my locking nut. I'm going to tighten that up. Just hold your little bar right here. I got a few turns on there, and I'm just going to take 2 wrenches to make it a little easier. Ratchet that in. Alright, so I'm going to put this up. You can kind of see I got the bungee hooked up and it's lifted all the way up. I'm going to go ahead and bolt my piece to it just to see if it works well. If it works well, I'm going to take it off and I'm going to do that little bit of welding I was talking about and grind it down, paint it. Alright, so my bolts line up with these right here. This bolt here is going to be used for the baffle that I'm going to make later for the mulch kits. That's going to go under it. So this won't be used today. And I think, oh, that's that notch I was looking at. Okay. So I need to drill one more hole for this one right here. Put one bolt here, one bolt here. And what that'll do is lift this all the way up. Alright, I'm going to make my mark where I need to drill it. Looks like it's right on the edge, so I'm going to go ahead and notch that out. Alright, so I just went ahead and took my little angle grinder with the cutoff wheel and just put 2 notches. I bent it up and then I cut it off that way. That's actually how the other one's made. It's notched in the middle. That should work pretty good. I'm going to get me a bolt to bolt up in here and one here. So the bolt that I took out right here, I'm going to try to reuse that for this one right here. The only problem with that is when I try to bolt it up, this carriage bolt right here is kind of interfering with it. So I'm going to cut this little piece off right there. Knock that up a little bit. I need to find one more bolting nut right here for this side. Looks like it's clearing the carriage bolt just fine. One thing I'm seeing is right here, it's kind of like digging in a little too much. Might have to bend that just a hair. Otherwise it's going to start cutting into the deck. I might actually do the same thing right here, notch it to where that point is going. There'll be one less sharp edge to cut me. So I'm going to pull this off and grind that off. So I notched this side and also notched this side. Alright, I think I found a bolt. It's a little bit longer than this one. I'm going to use a washer because the notch out is a little wide. so this is it working right here. Creates a nice seal. And that's probably all I'm going to do today. Then paint the block off plate. Alright, so I want to show that I put a few little spot welds where I grinded it to bend it. Probably doesn't need it, but just to be sure, I went ahead and put a little spot welds. Also put some weld up in this little corner right here, just so grass and mud wouldn't get caught in that corner and make a mess and start building up. Grinded that down. Did the same thing right here and the corners, all the sharp edges. Just took them all out. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint it, bolt it back up, and I'll let you see it. Alright, here's what it looks like up close. Came out pretty good. This is it, put it up. Not bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and bungee it up here. That's what it looks like. I'll show you it operating. Closed. Open. Not too bad. Like, comment, subscribe.